I'm the first one to start the anime off. That's kind of the name that we're calling it for the time being. If you don't understand exactly how this works, it's basically kind of like our own like football league that you could sign up and participate in, except we're doing it with anime shows for every season that comes out. We'll have a lot better of a description coming out in our podcast episode that should be out in the next day or two. So keep an eye out for that there. But I've got the very first show that started. It actually started last week. It's called I'm the Villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. And I kind of had good hopes, not high expectations going into the show. But so far, it's impressing me more than I thought it would. It's giving off a lot of vibes of the early days of, I think it was like My Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom. I believe that's what it was called. This one doesn't hit the same kind of speed, whereas the Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, we started out as a much younger version, and then she like grew older and then went to school and went through all these different things. And so we got a lot of like the dynamics of like them going through the classes, or not really through the classes, but just like the different ages as the show started. But with this one, we kind of jump right into our girl basically being like kicked. She's already kicked out of school. There's a lot of stuff that's already happened behind the scenes between her and the prince, which I guess I haven't said yet. It's kind of like this girl reincarnates into the villain of a dating simulator, but she's played the dating simulator before, but yeah, we're at the point right now where she's been kicked out of school. The marriage has been called off. There's a lot of, the whole town kind of sees her as this terrible person. And now that since she has all this knowledge of the dating simulator, she's decided, okay, I know how I'm going to die. It's going to be to this big giant dragon. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go tame the final boss, which is, the name of the show. And so she goes to the Demon King, who happens to be the brother of the prince, which is possibly a kind of a fun dynamic. So we'll see how they develop that and push that more. But yeah, she decided to go there to try and be like, oh, I'll convince him to marry me so that he won't kill me later on. And there's like a really fun dynamic between her and the Demon Lord and the Demon Lord's entourage, which is a lot of fun. And the way that the show's set itself up right now, I think it's got a lot of potential, but I don't know if I'm going to be happy with the ending, because My Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, I ended up falling off of that one, and I kind of feel like I'm going to want to fall off of this one as well. One of the differences right now is in this style, usually we see something where like there's a character, like the actual, like the main character of the dating sim. They have some sort of influence to like mess with our main character, or like she's very deceptive. But in this case, it seems more like the prince is the bad guy here, and the main character of the dating simulator, who is now engaged to the prince, she's very casual and very kind and nice. And I was like, well, maybe we shouldn't jump to conclusions. Maybe we should wait to see, what's actually happening. We don't have the evidence. The prince is like, no, I know she's the bad person. I know we gotta go and stop her. And so he's very like quick to get aggressive like that. But I mean, it could all be justified too. We haven't seen all the things that happened beforehand. It was a couple days ago that I watched the first episode, and I don't really remember how it was all set up with how she was reincarnated. I think she just reincarnated. It didn't give us much information on the events past and why the marriage was called off or the proposal was gone. All we know is the main character has fallen in love, the prince has fallen in love with the main character of the dating sim, not the actual main character of the anime, which is the villainess. And yeah, we'll kind of see where that goes. Zio, I know I didn't do the first episode when I was supposed to, which was last week. It was kind of like iffy when we first came up with this idea for our league. The first episode had already been out. So I mean, it's a little bit of a gray area, but I'm pretty sure I don't get a point for this, because I did say earlier, it's like, oh, I'll do it like the next day, and it's been like 4 or 5 days since then. So I know I lose the first point on the first episode. Again, for anybody who's like, what do you mean first points? I'll in like a day or two from after this video releases, there will be a link that you can click on. It'll take you to the instructions so you can see how it goes. And yeah, anybody's more than welcome to jump in and join in along with their own way of collecting points and being a part of this. But I'm really excited to see where this goes. Zio, I'm gonna crush you eventually. Right now I'm behind. I've lost a point.